Well, friends, welcome back to the homestead. Today begins a project that we wanted to do for the last 4 or 5 years, and that is planting asparagus. As you can see, our beds have all been prepped. We did this about 2 days ago. This soil that we're planting in was basically grass, lawn mixed with dandelions, some violets, some clover, a whole bunch of different things. And we knew we had a lot of asparagus to plant. I think we have maybe 40 crowns from our local conservation district on top of another 30 or 36 that I bought from my gardener during his recent sale. And we wanted to use some power equipment to get this done. We have a single bottom plow on the back of our tractor, and our original thought we were going to run that plow down through here. But we felt we really needed to break up the soil first. So we attacked it with our rototiller first and made probably 4 or 5 passes, about 1.5 tillers wide, to make sure we broke it up very good. Once we felt like we had everything loose enough, we did hook up the single bottom plow to the back of our Kubota. Never used the thing before. I picked it up probably 4 years ago in a trade with somebody because I thought I might come in handy someday, and it turns out it did. It hooked up to the tractor just fine, and we were able to make a nice furrow about 12 to 14 inches wide all the way down the length of both of our beds.
Then I came out and we went to just their big box store. Lowe's is local to us, and picked up some composted manure, and I got that poured on about probably a good 3 to 4 inches deep. And now I'm digging through that. It's pretty muddy because it rained yesterday and the compost bags were all just sitting out here. So my hands look like mud. But we're planting Mary Washington and Purple Passion. Is that right? And I'm excited. Oh, I already have one out. So we are doing it. We saw this on Living Traditions Homestead, and I went. I always recommend, no matter what you see, even if it's the most reputable source, for us, Living Traditions is a very reputable source, do your own research. So after I saw them plant it in a method that it is called head to tail, so you just lay the crown pointing up and the roots following, versus octopus style, where you make a mound and then you spread the roots over it. And from what my research from collegiate extension offices is that octopus style is actually quite outdated. It's unnecessary, and you can just do it head to tail. Just they recommend 12 inches wide, spacing wise. So we're doing that. We're going to do 2 rows down the outsides of the trenches that Todd made. And I'm planting them right now 2 to 3 inches deep, and then as they grow this first season, I'll continue to add more soil on top.
Is this where the next one goes? But if I go along and make the little trench, and then you can follow behind and plant them. Okay. And then we'll flip and then do the same on the other side.
Perfect.
You're already following behind? Yeah, this part of our land, kind of like where you are right now, is probably the highest end of the trench, and they kind of slope down that way. In fact, we get a huge pond that builds up over there when we get heavy rains. But this method so our trench is about 18 inches wide this way. I go along and rake it all to the middle. Rachel comes along and plants, pushes the soil back in on top, and then we'll flip around to the other side, and I'll dig along this side, and she'll follow behind me and plant. It seems to work really well.
Yeah, it's working good.
She was worried when she came out here. She was like, this is going to take a long time. I'll meet you out there. And she took off. I was like, okay, I'm coming. But we got
rain coming.
Yeah, there's another big rainstorm coming today. But I think after today, things are actually going to cool off a little bit, like highs of 70 instead of in the 80s like it is today and yesterday and the day before. So
Yeah, and you're going to notice that we have some crowns popping up already. Not crowns, but ferns popping up already off of the asparagus. And probably shouldn't have that situation going on. But we got our crowns about a week ago, and we should have put them, from my research, in the refrigerator.
Oh, that's the trick?
Yeah, we only had them sitting in the garage outside of like the plastic bags. And I think that they wanted to grow right away. But we should see really healthy growth in about 2 to 3 weeks. I'll come back out and check on them good. And that's when we'll continue to add more of the soil back on.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the edges are still like just chewed up weeds, soil, grass, different things like that. So there will be little mounds on the outside, even once we're done planting, because that soil goes on top once they actually get somewhat established.
Yep. I think we're doing good.
You think we're doing good?
Yeah,
on like count and stuff, you think we're okay?
Uh-huh.
Someone was asking us a question about, I posted some pictures of this on our Facebook page. They're like, how are you going to deal with weeds? And to be honest, I don't know yet.
I don't think that we're going to worry too much about it, to be honest with you. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, we pass them, like, tell them about how much wild asparagus we drive by.
Yeah, I mean, we pass by houses and fields all the time, and there's just asparagus growing wild in the ditches. And you can see the ferns sticking up come June and July, and by then the spears are all done, turn into fronds and stuff like that. But in the early spring, when the sprouts first come out of the ground and it's time to harvest, I don't think the weed pressure is going to be all that bad. We're going to be able to come out and harvest them just fine. Mm-hmm. And then throughout the season, we're not going to do anything with them except let them grow. Let the ferns grow nice and tall, establish themselves even more. And then at the end of the season, we'll either come through and mow them or come through and burn them. There's a couple different mechanisms to do it. We'll have to do some research and figure out come fall what should we actually do. We have a person who lives probably 5 miles from us, and they have a huge, absolutely huge asparagus patch, probably close to 2 acres. They have like a little roadside stand that they put out, and I don't know how much asparagus they sell every year, but I think it's a ton. So, and we kind of know those people. We've met them once before. So we could also stop by there and just say, hey, can you tell me 5 minutes of your tips on growing asparagus? Because I think they've done it for quite a long time.
Yeah. I'm thinking that this trench, like leaving it like this through the spring rains, is going to help for capturing water too, to water these roots really well.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, that's the story I'm telling myself.
Okay. One person dig the trench, the second person plant the plants.
21.
That's the way to go. We have 21 left.
22.
So what we've ended up doing so far is between our 2 trenches, we did one side of that trench and one side of this trench. So when we get down to the end, we can come around and start coming back on the other side.
Yeah.
So 18 inches apart. So we could actually buy more if we wanted.
Mm-hmm. Let's just make sure this set works.
Yeah. I told her one day we bought that big bundle of them from the conservation district, and then I told her like
I might have did a thing.
Like a week later, it's like, so I might have did a thing. She's like, what'd you do? I'm like, I think I bought more asparagus.
Todd never does a thing.
Yeah.
He is never spontaneous, never anything like that. And I was just like, what'd you do?
I really like asparagus. And I just saw like that bundle that we got from the conservation district, and I thought,
that's not much.
Surely we can have more asparagus than that. We really like asparagus. Every now and then we run across something like this where the rototiller didn't do its job, or the person driving the rototiller didn't do their job.
Wasn't me. Okay, I don't know how that's gonna go, but we have a few more, so we'll find some places to stick these along. Probably this edge was a little cleaner to work in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 10.
Oh my gosh, your pants are so...
I'm so...
So what did you learn during all of your research? You said you did a lot of research this afternoon?
Yeah, so like one of the things, like I think asparagus is finicky, like getting committed to growing here. So I think we have to be like really super diligent about watering it the first year.
Okay.
So make sure it gets a week, 1 inch per week. This soil, though, is different from a lot of the soil on our land. This is not sand here. It lends more to clay. So if I got 2 inches of rain 1 week, I'm not going to worry about the next week. It's going to be fine.
Sure.
But we just need to, put it on our calendar or something to remember it. And then secondly, they really recommend mulch for that reason, that to help with moisture retention.
Is this where you ended?
Yes.
Do you want to put a stick or something there so we know
Probably.
when we get done?
I'll let you do that.
No, this.
Here, I'll
thing?
make a little.
Okay. So I don't know for sure that we're going to buy more. We could probably. Yeah, we could probably plant more. When we put all the work in to dig the trenches and to buy the compost and to add more, I don't think would have any negative effects.
No. Other than we can only eat so much asparagus, so you guys might have to come buy it. Because I'm not that big of a fan of pickled asparagus, to be honest with you, and I'm not a big fan of frozen asparagus. I like it fresh. So we'll see.
I think most of our kids like it.
All of our kids love asparagus, so we'll have like plenty to give away to the family. Like one of my sons has already threatened, if you come home and there's no asparagus in the back pasture, I don't know who did it.
I don't know who came in the middle of the night and took it all.
So it's going to be several years though till we reap that reward. Next year we might get a spear or two, but really the third year is when you expect. And the average life cycle of an asparagus plant is 15 years.
That's what I read, 15 to 20.
Yeah. Who knew?
Probably outlive us, maybe.
Maybe.
Never know.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming with us. I desperately need to get clean, and it's about to pour down rain. So.
Yep. So thanks for coming along with us today. We'll see you on the next video.
Bye, guys.
Good?
Yep.